Alright guys, Forrest here from Bgump3dprints. We're going to do an in-depth video on our new incidence meter that we have designed and manufactured. With Robart incidence meters, and the Horizon kit also is no longer available and unobtainium. We've been asked and had multiple requests from people in Europe and people in the United States for a new incidence meter kit. What we came up with was, we had tried a couple different things. We have tried arrow shafts, we've tried different tubes and diameters and things, and this is what we've come up with that's strong, that will also work on giant scale. So your big IMAC guys, we have not left you out. We do have a extended version that is 1,000 millimeters that will work on your 40% IMAC airplanes or your Tucson airplanes, or even if you're on the hardcore 3D side and want to check your incidences or play with that, we can accommodate that too. So this is 3D printed ends. Everything on this is 3D printed except for your thumb screws. These are M3 thumb screws and nuts. The orange parts, the colored parts, are coming in out of ABS glass fiber. And then something really slick that we've come up with, because for those of you that have seen the Horizon or the Robart ones, they have these plastic ends that touch your leading edge and trailing edges of your wing, and they're really hard plastic, and they can tear up your wings if you're not careful. And it's just, you know, an older way of doing it. Well, we have found a new material that's a foaming material. So, and we can vary the foaming capabilities and the softness of this material, but also still rigid. So what this is, you know, it's kind of soft out here on the edges for, you know, if you needed to wrap around a leading edge better, but it's still soft but rigid enough to not change your measurements and things, but it's soft enough here where it's going to touch your trailing edges or your leading edges, where it's not going to dig into your monocoat or your paint or any of that nature over time. So it's a soft, but it's still hard. And what we've done is put a bolt. It's a threaded M3 bolt all the way through, and then we have little tiny washers that are on top and bottom to kind of compress right here where that bolt comes through, to give it, there's some friction here, so there won't be any play up and down over time, but also keeping those measurements the same, because this is a measuring device. So these will fully rotate dependent upon, you know, your leading edges or your trailing edges. If you've got this really steep, you know, angled leading edge, these modern pattern planes with swept back wings, you know, it's really hard for the older style systems to get good accurate measurements. We've solved that problem with these new ends. If you ever have to take these out, just be careful if you're putting them back in, that you don't over tighten this. These are threaded plastic. It's an M3 bolt that's got a shank on it, so it's shanked all the way to here. So there is some friction, but that's on purpose. And then we have nice thumb screws with some little spacers. You can't really over tighten this. I mean, you can if you have really strong hands than me, but you can't really over tighten these. We've designed this so you can't over tighten it and potentially crack the plastic. If you do crack a plastic, let us know. We'll get you a new piece out. But this is really slick. It uses our whip motion meter from our other systems that we've used. So this completes the ecosystem of throw meters, thrust angle meters, and all of our other products. So this uses, if you already have this meter, you can buy this without the meter. These come in yellow, red, black, and this orange. These are made out of ABS glass fiber. So it's a little bit stronger. We decided to go to that material, so it's a little more rigid and a little stronger than just standard ABS. These are a carbon fiber tube. This is a 10 millimeter tube. It's square, so you get nice, perfect, always the same for your meter for, you know, being perfectly straight up and down. This does come in 500 millimeters, which would be the F3A or the standard version. And then you can buy the 1,000 meter version, which will work on all the 40 percenters or the you know, big airplanes. You can buy this in the F3A version and then just the tube for the 1,000 meters. So if you're doing both pattern planes and IMAC airplanes, you can get both length tubes, just like you could with the Robart version back in the day. So nice and light, super rigid. That's why we went with the square tube. So it's much stronger at the extreme lengths. And nice thumb screws. These will come with the 3 thumb screws and the plastic spacers, everything installed as is. Nice new incidence meter. Thanks, guys.